Hey everyone, it's about time, right? Today is the day. After many other videos that I did on this TV, from the unboxing to the checking out the display quality and how it sounds and stuff like that, today's the final review of my 43-inch Samsung QN90A Neo QLED Mini LED 4K Smart TV. One of the best TVs from 2021 and even now in 2022. This was one of Forbes top TVs, Tech Radar's Editor's Choice, AVS Forum's top choice of 2021, Next Gen TVs top TVs, and of course Ratings top TVs. And at the time of this review, it was Ratings or Arting's top LED TV and brightest LED TV for summer of 2022. Now, all of you guys that have your own favorites, I didn't say it was the best TV of summer of 2022 according to Arting's or Ratings, or that it's the best OLED because it's not an OLED TV. According to Arting's or Ratings.com, this is the best LED TV. That means it's a backlit TV, not OLED. The best TV from Ratings.com, I believe, is the C2. All around, best all around is the C2, and that means for both OLED and regular backlit panel TVs. So normally the way I like to do my reviews is I like to give you guys a breakdown on the company who makes the product that I'm reviewing, but everybody have already heard about Samsung, right? And if you guys want to watch an interesting video on about how big Samsung is as a company and from their origins and to how they are as a company, as far as like how they're, I mean, in South Korea, they have their own city. Samsung has its own city. And Samsung is one of the largest, if not the largest, consumer electronics company. It's right up there. It's probably right up there in the big three of tech companies or technology companies, along with Google and Apple. So if you guys want to know more about Samsung as a company and how big Samsung is, I'm going to put a link in the bottom of the description from Cold Fusion's channel. He has a really good video on Samsung and I think also on a few other companies, and just some interesting videos all around in tech and other things. So since I won't be going over too much on Samsung as a company and their history, because like I said, I'll let you guys watch the Cold Fusion video on that. So this video, my review video, don't take too long. Let's go over firstly the specs on the Samsung QN90A, and then from there we'll go on to why I got it, and we'll go over the build, which I think we already went through, but we'll go over the build again, a hardware walkthrough, and then we'll talk about the Samsung Tizen interface and overall how I'm using this TV and how it is to use in general. I've already made all the other videos on the picture quality and how it sounds and things of that nature. Okay, so the specs of this TV, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is Samsung's first Mini LED backlit TV. So it's a continuation and an upgrade from their regular backlit TVs, and it's a VA panel, which means you're going to get the best contrast ratios out of any display technology other than OLED. It uses the Samsung Neo Quantum 4K processor with a quantum matrix technology. That's the technology, that quantum dot technology that they have to give you guys more colors. They say up to 1 billion more colors. It has a quantum HDR 32X, and it does not have object tracking sound. I don't know why it says that. I'm on Samsung's website as I read through this. It has motion accelerator turbo plus, probably not on this smaller version. So again, this screen size of this TV is a 43-inch. Resolution is 4K. That means 3840 by 2160. Motion rate 240. It has 100% of the color volume, DCI-P3. Quantum HDR 24X Neo Quantum processor. It has film mode, adaptive picture, hybrid log gamma HLG. It has HDR10, HDR10 Plus. It does not have Dolby Vision. Come on, Samsung. Work your things out with Dolby and get Dolby Vision on this TV. The speaker output, sound output for this TV, for the 43-incher, is 20 watts, it says. And it has OTS Lite instead of OTS Plus. That's object tracking sound. It does have a Dolby 5.1 decoder. It has Bluetooth audio, and it's Bluetooth 5.0. And Wi-Fi, correction, it's Bluetooth 4.2. And it really doesn't say Wi-Fi, what Wi-Fi it has. I'm going to say Wi-Fi 6, maybe. This TV does have Bluetooth headset support, so if you have Samsung Galaxy Buds, it'll pair up pretty nicely and quickly with your Samsung Galaxy Buds. It also has TV wallpaper support, as well as that ambient mode. So this 43-inch QN90A also has the game bar, although again, it doesn't have an HDMI 2.1 port like its bigger brothers, or bigger TV brothers. It does have ATSC 3.0, so if you want to connect it to cable, it will support ATSC 3.0, which means you can get cable or streaming in 4K, not just 1080p. It also has FreeSync compatible, but not NVIDIA's G-Sync, but it has AMD FreeSync support. And it has 3 voice assistants that you can use it with. You can use it with Google Voice, Alexa, and Bixby, as you guys have probably already seen in some of my previous videos. So the dimensions of this TV is 43.5 by 27 inches by 5.7 inches. That's weight, height, and depth, or dimension. It's got a total weight of 30.4, with the stand being, I believe, 10.1 pounds. You can figure out the TV's weight if you just subtract the total weight with the stand by that. The QN90A also comes with Samsung's brand new solar cell remote, which is really nice. And it's VESA wall mount compatible if you want to mount it to a wall, which would look really nice because it's a slim panel. So unlike other companies like, say, TCL, Samsung does not like to divulge how many mini LEDs they have in their TVs, or how many zones, local dimming zones they have. Although I found out the 50-inch version of the QN90A, I believe, has 448 separate LED zones. So for the 43-inch, it's probably a little bit less than that 448 dimming zones. Come on, Samsung, what are you guys trying to hide? Just tell us how many zones of dimming zones you have, how many LEDs are in your displays, in what sizes. What do you guys got to hide? I mean, all that matters is that your TVs look good, especially this one that I'm looking at. It looks outstanding. Also, if I forgot to mention, it also supports auto low latency mode. Although this one, the 43-inch, I'm not sure if it does, since it doesn't have HDMI 2.1. And does auto low latency mode only come with the HDMI 2.1 port that this 43-inch version is missing? So if you guys need all of those, the 120 refresh rate, auto low latency mode, VRR support, you probably have to go look elsewhere or look into their larger size TVs of the QN90A. But even without all that, it still has a very great, and to me very satisfying, picture quality that I enjoy, that I have enjoyed so far. Okay, so before we go further on the build quality and design of the Samsung QN90A, let's go further into Samsung's QN90A Neo QLED Mini LED technology. And to find out about Samsung's Neo QLED tech, Neo, which is meaning their new QLED technology, we first have to find out what is LED. LED is an acronym for light emitting diode, and LED, basically, it's been around since in electronic devices since the 1960s. Pretty much one of the earliest forms of LED technology is like in your old calculators and digital watches back in the days. And it started becoming popular in TV technology when Samsung adopted it in 2007. And LED uses backlighting, usually from fluorescent or cold cathode fluorescent lighting, to illuminate the screen. Okay, now in order to understand what mini LED is, we first have to know what backlighting is for TVs. And for TV backlighting, you have basically two types. You have edge lit panels and backlit panels. An edge lit panel is just like the name says, and it's normally in cheaper monitors or TV panels. Although edge lit panels nowadays are so cheap to make, they probably hardly ever make these types of panels anymore, and you're seeing less of them, and they're now getting more into backlit flat panels. But first, let's talk about the edge lit. So edge lit, as the name implies, it has the lighting on the edges of the display, which means that light only comes from either the top and bottom edge or the left and right edge of the display, or on some other better panels it could be on all four sides of the edge of the display: top, bottom, right, and left. And the main disadvantage with edge lit panels is because the lighting is only through the edge, it's not going to be as precise, so you're going to get a lot of blooming, and your contrast is not going to be as good. You're going to get a lot of dirty screen effect and things like of that nature. Backlit flat panels are just, as the name says, the lighting is in the back of the TV. So with the introduction of backlit panels, now you can put in like different dimming zones for the TV, and depending on the size of the TV, you can, regular backlit panels can have anywhere from as little as 4 to as many as in the hundreds. Especially the newer panels now, what they call full array local dimming. Because a mini LED is 1/40th the size of a regular LED, basically a mini LED can be almost the sizes of a grain of sand compared to your conventional LED, which means you can have thousands or even more, tens of thousands of LEDs depending on the size of the panel. And because of that, you can have more dimming zones. And like I said, the Samsung QN90A 50-inch TV has 448 local dimming zones. I believe it was tested by Vincent from HD TV Test. And so with those smaller mini or quantum mini LEDs, you're going to get one, because you get more LEDs, you're going to have the ability to get brighter TVs. And because of the smaller mini LEDs compared to conventional LEDs, you're going to get better contrast and less blooming because of more dimming zones. Now let's take a sidestep a little bit and go back to LED. So from LED, which is light emitting diode, in 2015, Samsung introduced their quantum dot LED, or QLED, which stands for quantum dot light emitting diode. The quantum dots are like small nano particles that are in your LCD TVs or LED TVs. What they do, when light hits the LED or mini LED lights in the Neo QLED's case, these dots will then emit their own lights with their own colors to enhance the image or enhance the colors on the screen. And so the goal with quantum LED or quantum dot LED is to, one, give more colors, and two, create better, brighter pictures with less blooming. And so you combine quantum LED with mini LED. Now that's what Samsung has in their Neo QLED technology. And with mini LEDs, it's like a bridge between regular LED LCD technology and OLED. And if you guys don't know, or you've been in the dark for a while, OLED stands for organic light emitting diode. And OLEDs basically are the pixels on your screen. In this case, let's say a 4K TV, every pixel on that screen creates their own light, or organic light, right, to make up the picture and the colors and things like that. So with OLED, because the pixels in the OLED, which in this case a 4K OLED can have 8 million pixels, because the pixels are their own light source, they can completely shut off, so you can get perfect blacks, meaning the contrast ratio is pretty much infinite. And compared to regular LED TVs or LCD TVs, an OLED TV, those 8 million pixels are their own light source. So you get more, you pretty much get compared to like 448 local dimming zones. You have 8 million local dimming zones, and you have, you know, full array local dimming zones in all of those tiny little pixels in OLED. The biggest knock on OLED is that they still don't get as bright as backlit regular LED LCD panels, although they're getting close now with quantum dot OLED. And because the organic nature of OLED, meaning it's pretty much like a living organism or light source, there's a lifespan on those organic light emitting diodes, and there's also, as everybody knows, the chance of burn-in. And so what Mini LED does, particularly with Samsung's Mini Neo QLED, is they try to replicate, and they're, like I said, they're in between what OLED is and regular LCD TV. So they try to give you the deep blacks of OLED, but with more brightness than your traditional OLED TVs. And in the future, they should have micro LEDs that are coming out from Samsung. Well, they already do, but right now the technology for micro LED or to build micro LED panels is still not cost effective, and it's very expensive at this time. Basically, you're talking about like a TV that costs more than your, let's say, Tesla Model 3 electric sedan or car. So with Samsung's Neo QLED, you basically have the Mini LED backlight all the way in the back, and then you have the quantum dots, and then you have your LCD panel. You have your Mini LED backlight, the quantum dot layer for your colors, and then the regular LCD panel on top. And so that's what gives Samsung's QN90A their, as you guys are seeing on the demos and also from on my previous videos with the picture quality of the QN90A, it gives it the great contrast ratio, almost OLED like, but you also get that very high brightness with very little blooming, as you guys can see in some of the demos. Okay, let's talk about the build quality. Build quality all overall on this TV is good. I mean, would I have liked it to be maybe have a better build quality other than, say, made out of plastic, mostly plastic? Sure, but then that would have meant that this TV would have been way heavier, and especially when you get into larger sizes, I don't see too many large size TVs, especially over 75 inches, being all metal. The Samsung QN90A, this 43-inch version right here, does have a metal frame, but the rest of the TV is plastic, especially around the back, and the stand is all metal, but the bottom of the TV stand is all metal, but the back of the stand where it connects to your TV is plastic. And so for build quality, like I said, it's pretty good. Does it look premium? Yes. Does it feel premium? Probably not. But in this case, as far as the premium goes, it's definitely in the picture quality of this TV. Speaking of premium, I haven't even mentioned that when I first bought this TV, I think it was near Memorial Day, and so they were having all these sales. I don't know if that was a sale price on this TV, but I got it for around $797. With tax and shipping, it came to around $840. And I've seen this TV fluctuate in price, going all the way up to like $999 to, I think right now on Amazon it goes for $849. So it's still pretty expensive for its size, considering there's other options out there that will have like all your other features that you need. If you need HDMI 2.1, go to TCL or Sony. But then again, neither Sony or TCL has a Mini LED in a 43-inch size. So the TV overall has a nice thin frame, very slim design. The TV stand is made out of all metal, and it can fit a slim soundbar like my LG SLM5Y right here. Can fit underneath it pretty easily. Very little branding on the TV, except for a small Samsung branding right in the bottom right corner. And I like the center mounted design because it looks nice as both a TV stand and a monitor, and it's pretty stable, especially because of the size of my TV. The stand seems almost too big for it, like it was made for a larger Samsung QN90A TV. But the stand also fits my new Klim Chroma keyboard that I normally have underneath my TV, right where the stand is, and it fits in there perfectly, like if it was made for it. And then I can just tuck it in underneath when I'm not using the keyboard, the wireless keyboard from Klim. The TV also has your traditional VESA mounts on the back. It has the one plug right here for your power cord. And like I said in the unboxing, the only thing this 43-incher is missing is that it doesn't have the cable routing grooves in the back like the larger sizes have. So on the TV's right side are its ports. Starting from the top, you get two USB 2.0 ports. You get a optical port, HDMI ports, 4 HDMI ports. Starting from the top is HDMI 4, and then HDMI 3 is your eARC port. Then another HDMI port. The only negative on this, and something that Samsung did not mention until I found out later after I bought it, is that unlike their larger size QN90As, this TV does not have HDMI 2.1. They're all 2.0. So if you want that HDMI 2.1 with variable refresh rate and 120 hertz gaming, this is not the TV for you. Then underneath the HDMI ports, you get your LAN or Ethernet port, you get a Toslink port, and then your antenna connector for ATSC 3.0. So you can, if your cable company supports it, you can receive the cable signals in 4K. And so those are all the ports. So let me tell you one of the beautiful things about owning this 43-inch QN90A as a PC monitor is that I can do more multitasking with the screen. And let me show you guys what I mean by that. So if I'm, like, say on Google Chrome, I can have multiple tabs open or 2 tabs open at the same time, which is great. Normally what I'll end up doing is I'll have YouTube on one tab or one separate window, and then the other separate window I could be looking up things or checking my email and things like that. So with having this bigger 43-inch monitor as a PC monitor, not only can I multitask and have like 2 split windows on the QN90A, but on my laptop I could use it for my folders or Windows Explorer, and a lot of the times I'll have Alienware Command Center on there on the smaller laptop. So the other cool thing I do with having this larger 43-inch TV as my PC monitor is when I'm using DaVinci Resolve, I have all that timeline space right there, and then I just use the laptop for my Windows Explorer folders where I have all my recorded media and things like that, media files, so I can just drop it into DaVinci Resolve to put into my timeline like so, which is really cool, and it makes work so much easier and so much faster. Okay, let's talk about the Samsung operating system known as Tizen OS. There are some pros and cons to it. Let's talk about the cons first, because for me there aren't too many, but they are there. These are my cons. They might not be yours if you own or have owned a Samsung TV, smart TV. The first con is, I don't know if I'll be able to replicate it right now, is that if I use something like VLC Media Player, or if my TV is plugged into my laptop, it'll go into the game mode, which I'm not trying to do, because when it goes into game mode, it changes some of the functions of the TV. And yeah, I don't know if I could even replicate it right now, but it does do it every now and then. So that's one of the cons. The other con is that every now and then the HDMI connections with Tizen will won't pick up or it won't recognize it right away. And it's a known problem. And every now and then there's a certain lag when you go from PC to regular TV mode and back and forth. Or even from like the crashes that I've experienced with my laptop on my Dell Alienware laptop was because of switching from the laptop screen and then trying to view it on my QN90A screen. So that's the biggest con right there, is it makes my laptop crash with that. Now, the biggest pluses to the operating system with Tizen is like what you're seeing right now, is it doesn't take the whole screen. So what that means is I can still be watching something and then I can look through the menus to see what I like. If I don't like what I see with the menu system, I could just keep watching what I am watching, right? So on the bottom is like your most frequently used apps, and what I have right now is what I mostly use and arranged. The operating system is fairly quick, sometimes too quick for me. I'll flick through them too quickly and I'll miss what I want to catch. Like say I want to get Netflix and I see I already went past Netflix. So it's pretty quick. There's hardly any lag with it. And like I said, I like how it doesn't take up the whole screen, unlike what the new Tizen operating system does with the newer TVs. Another plus that I like is in the settings. When you hit settings the first time out, you have quick settings. And with quick settings is nice because you don't have to click the full settings menu. So you can just go here and get, your quick settings. And yeah, so in these quick settings, you have settings to where it gets you to the things that you want to, adjust probably the most often, like your Wi-Fi, if you want intelligent mode on and off. And for me, one of the ones that I use all the time is like switching back and forth between my sound systems. The sound that I'm using right now, I have it plugged in, or the sound is coming out of my new Bluetooth speaker, but I can go optical. If I had HDMI, it would be HDMI. If now it's on TV speaker, then I can go back to my new Bluetooth speaker that I have. Speaking of Bluetooth, it also hooks up the Tizen. This version of Tizen, or this version on the QN90A, I believe has Bluetooth 5.1, maybe even 5.2. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, but it seems pretty fast for. I know it's above Bluetooth. It's Bluetooth 5.0 or above, and it's pretty quickly. So here is game mode, and let me show you guys what game mode looks like. So right now it's set for auto, but normally I turn it off. But when I go back onto the system, this pops up. If I'm playing VLC Media Player on my laptop, that's what'll pop up. And so when it goes on to game mode, I'm not able to adjust some of the picture settings, or it takes me off of my calibrated picture settings that I'm using when I'm editing videos. So going back again to the quick settings menu right here, and see game mode is on. Let me just turn that off. And the other one that you can adjust really quickly is your picture, right? So right now it's on standard. If I wanted to adjust the picture mode, see, I can get it on warm, warm 2, cool. You can see the picture change kind of, right? There's color, standard. And if I want to get more into settings, I could just go here and see when, this is what I'm talking about. When it's on game mode, like it went on to the picture mode, will go on to game mode. And you can't change it. You have to turn it back off, which is, for me, kind of a hassle. And in the regular settings menu, you can go through all the other things that you can really make adjustments to, right? And then the other last cool feature of the Samsung Tizen operating system is, again, you can use 3 voice assistants. You have the Samsung's own built-in Bixby voice, Amazon Alexa, and then Google Assistant. And I've been using mostly Bixby because it was the easiest to set up, as far as, well, it wasn't the easiest, but with Bixby, you can use voice assist without pressing on the that microphone button right here on the remote. Speaking of the remote, this is a very nice remote. It's very small and it charges via solar power, so you don't really need batteries. It's very eco-friendly, and I just usually set this by my windowsill when I'm not using it, if it's during the daytime. Now, getting back to that voice control, so with when I was telling you about getting into quick settings like this and everything else, you could just use Bixby for that. So let's say I want to go into picture settings. Hi Bixby, go to picture settings. And right there, it puts me into picture settings. Hi Bixby, go to settings. Hi Bixby, exit settings. So you really don't need the remote control when you're using that with the operating system, which is very nice and handy. Or should we say it's very nice and hands-free. So all in all, I really like the Tizen operating system, even more so than the Google operating system that's on my Sony A1 OLED TV, because of that hands-free voice recognition, voice assistant hands-free feature that's in Bixby. So would I recommend this TV? As long as, number one, you're not a hardcore gamer, you're expecting the fastest frame rates for gaming, and if you want HDMI 2.1, I don't recommend this TV. So if you're a hardcore gamer and you want HDMI 2.1, I would not recommend this TV. But if you're just the type of person that wants to use this as a bedroom TV for just watching TV shows or YouTube or Netflix or Amazon Prime, yes, I can very hardly recommend this. If you're going to be using this with your computer as a PC monitor or your laptop, I can recommend this. If you're going to use this for editing videos or Photoshop, I can recommend this, as long as you get it color calibrated first. I definitely can recommend this for those purposes. If you belong in that camp, I can recommend this TV. Granted, if you can get it for a fair price. I got pretty lucky when I bought this TV that either it was on sale or it was on a special. I'm not sure, but yeah, the prices on this TV, like I said, they fluctuate. They can go up from as low as I got it for the around the 790 mark to as high as the just below 1,000, and that's without tax. Now, if this TV was at its current price that I'm looking at right now, $849 at Amazon, I probably think twice if I want to get it or not. And if it's at the 1,000 price point or $999, I might go with something else. Maybe an LG QNED that might be a little bit cheaper, that's Mini LED. But then again, like I said, there aren't too many Mini LED TVs smaller than 50 inches, and the Samsung is, I believe, the only Mini LED right now. The Samsung QN90A and QN90B, and maybe the QN85A and 85B are the only ones that come in the 43-inch size. So if you want a Mini LED in a smaller size, Samsung is probably the only ones that are making them right now. So with that said, and with all the other videos that I've previously made on this TV, that's pretty much it. If there's anything that I missed in this review, please leave it in the comment section below. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I see them. Stay tuned for more videos coming soon on this TV, maybe with gaming in the future, who knows. But that is it right now for this review on this Samsung QN90A 43-inch 4K Mini LED Quantum Dot TV. Yeah, all around, for me at least, it was a great buy. And like I said, right now you can't find any 43-inch right now Mini LED TV except from Samsung. So with that, if you guys have found this review helpful and informative or entertaining, please like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at The Workout Geek for all my latest happenings and great workout tips. Till next time, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day.